All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5-day brand creation challenge. All right. I am joined here today with my wife, Haley,
Hello.
and she will be handling the questions later and any questions in the chat that come up. All right. So I'm going to share my screen so I get the right slides up. All right. So let me know where you are watching from and any questions that you have about creating a brand in the comments below. All right, so can everyone see my screen? Does that look good, Haley?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
All right,
I can see you.
because I can't see the chat now that my screen is full screen. All right. Well, first off, some notes about this challenge. So I'm going to be going live every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the recordings will be available only this week. And I'm going to be launching what I'm calling the Adventure Brand Coaching Community. And if you want to get the recordings for this, they will be available there, and I'll talk more about that later. And so, why is this called a challenge? It's called a challenge because each day we're going to have a actual challenge or a task for you to complete, and everyone who completes each day's task will be entered in a giveaway to win a free year of access to my Adventure Brand Coaching Community membership. And this membership is all about how to grow a brand, grow your website, email marketing, everything that has to do with growing your brand online. And again, I'll be talking more about this later in the challenge, but that is why you want to complete each day's task. In addition, each task that you're going to complete each day, these are going to help you actually build your brand step by step. So you're going to start today with maybe you have no idea, even what you would talk about. You don't know what your brand idea would be. Maybe you feel like you're not very creative, or you don't know what brand name to come up with. You don't know how to create a logo. You don't know what to talk about. Maybe you don't even like writing. Maybe you don't like being on camera or any of this stuff. Or maybe it all just sounds too hard or like it'll take too much time. Well, this challenge is going to help you overcome all those obstacles. And over the course of these 5 days, if you complete each of these tasks, you will have your brand foundation created. So, does that sound exciting? Type a yes in the comments if that is the case for you. And also, each training I do each day, so it'll be one training each day for these 5 days, Monday through Friday. At the end, there will be a Q&A. So I'm not going to be answering the questions during the training, but at the end, there will be a Q&A section. So if you have any questions about anything, be sure to stick to the end to answer, so you can answer those questions. Also, the challenges will be coming at the end as well. So be sure to stay to the end so you can learn what the challenge is for that day. All right. Let's move on. So goals. What are our goals for this challenge? So like I said, by the end of these 5 days, you will have your very own personal brand foundation in place. And then there'll be a different goal for each day. So that's the goal for the whole challenge. And the goal for today is that by the end of the day, you'll have your own profitable brand idea. So if you don't know what to talk about or what your brand should be about, you will know that by the end of today. So get ready for that. All right, real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Reagan Ram. I am the son of Paula Ram, who you probably all know. And I've actually been blogging since 2011, and I helped co-found kingdompen.org. That was one of my first businesses that I helped start in 2011, and that's still going today, run by my amazing sisters. They're doing a great job with that right now. And that's all about helping young Christian writers write well, write purposefully, and write how to write for Christ. And so, if you know any writers out there, then Kingdom Pen is for them. And then I was always kind of working with the family business, a little bit helping with customer support and writing thank you emails to people. But I kind of really joined the family business in 2015. That's when we kind of decided to build our Coastal Conservatory brand, which later became paularam.com. And I love building brands. I think it's a lot of fun. And so 2 brands I'm currently building right now are Orpheus Audio Academy, which is all about helping music producers make better music and grow their fan base online. And then I also have my band, which is kind of our family band, right? Haley and I are both a part of it, and eventually our two children, Ember Rose and Asher Phoenix, will be joining that too eventually. And so yeah, you can see my family there in the bottom right, and that is me. All right, so today we're going to be learning the 5 simple steps to finding your profitable brand idea. Now, let me know in the comments, do you have a brand idea already? Do you already have a brand? Or are you just getting started and don't have any idea yet? So yeah, go ahead and post that in the comments. And then Haley, let me know if anyone responds to that.
All right. I just want to pop on here real quick and mention that so we can see your name on through StreamYard, just go ahead and give access in the link that is provided in the description of this live video. And you can always deny access later. It's just so we can see your name and we can feature your comment up here on the live stream.
All right. I just exited out full screen just so I can see the comments. All right, cool. All right. And you can see the comments, right, Haley?
Mm-hmm.
You have to bear with us just for a second. This is our first time using this platform.
Well, second, but you know.
Yeah, that's right. We did go earlier today. I forgot about that already. So yeah, I went earlier today talking about why you need to have a brand, why a brand can help you. So definitely check that out later if you don't know why you need a brand. All right, let's get right back into it. So what is a brand, first of all? So a brand is simply what people think and feel about a particular person or thing, regardless of truth or reality. So I don't know if you can hear Ember talking in the background, but so yeah, a brand is just what people think and feel about a particular person or thing, and those thoughts or feelings can be true or false, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a true. More about that later. Now you're going to want to build an authentic brand. So that's what this is going to be talking about, how to build an authentic, real brand. All right. Also, everyone already has a brand, whether you realize it or not. So when people hear your name, they immediately think or feel certain things. And so with your friends and family, that's probably, hopefully, a positive brand. They have good thoughts, good feelings about you. And maybe there's people who don't like you, then you would have a negative brand to them. All right. So that's just kind of how you think about a brand, and that's how you want to think about your business too. Is you're going to be shaping your brand, right? Everything we do, every interaction we have with people, shapes our brands. And so when it comes to your business, you are going to want to intentionally brand. Is another way of thinking about it. So you're intentionally shaping what people think and feel about you in a positive, again, accurate, real way. So in other words, it's what you're known for. And so you shape your brand positively by providing value. That's the main way you're going to help shape a positive brand. And when you have a positive brand, that creates know, like, and trust in people, and people buy from those that they like and those that they trust. So long story short, having a positive brand is going to help you get more sales. So you might think that a brand is a logo, colors, slogans, etc., but that's not the case. These things just help conjure a brand. So here are some examples, right? So here's a whole bunch of examples of what you would say, what we think of as brands, but these aren't really the brands. These are just logos. And when you look at these particular logos, they will summon or conjure up feelings or thoughts. For some people it might be positive, for some people it might be negative, like Facebook, right? I don't have the best, Facebook doesn't have a very great brand image for me personally. Now maybe like Lego, maybe you're a huge Lego fan. You see that Lego logo and it summons up all the thoughts and positive thoughts and feelings that you have around Lego. So everyone can have different experiences of, the same brand, but for your particular audience, you are going to want to build obviously a positive brand image. So then here's our logo for our Paula Ram brand. It's another example. It's again, the logo is not the brand. It can just summon the brand, the thoughts and feelings that people have with it. It's kind of like a shortcut to the brand. All right. Also, have you noticed so far through this presentation that I'm creating a brand right now? It's the Adventure Brand Academy. And so how am I doing that? I'm doing that with the fonts I'm using. I'm doing it with the colors I'm using and the images I'm using. If you've been paying attention, I've used kind of more like outdoorsy, adventure-y kind of images because that's the brand image that I want to create. Those are the kind of the thoughts and feelings that I want to create in you. So colors and images help conjure thoughts and feelings about your brand, like we talked about. So, for example, colors have different psychological triggers in us as humans. They create emotions. So you can see like yellow creates optimism and clarity and warmth. And you can see in this image all the different kind of emotions that things create. So for this brand, I decided to go with blue because I wanted to have a brand that communicated trust and dependability and strength because that fits with the adventure image that I want to create. And I'll be talking more about the adventure part of Adventure Brand later in another live stream. So here's some more deeper psychology behind what red creates, what yellow creates, blue, and so whatever color you choose for your brand, you want it to match the feelings and emotions you want to create in your audience, a color that appeals to them. And I'll talk about that in a little bit later about how you figure out what your audience would like. Also, just a cool little side note, the combination of the colors red and yellow actually makes people hungry. This is true. This is why so many fast food chains have red and yellow, like McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Soviet Union. But that makes people hungry for other reasons, namely poverty and oppression. All right, moving on. Colors and images. So images also help conjure thoughts and feelings. So here's a couple images that I've used, right? So like a person going on an adventure out in the wilderness, and here's like a map and a notebook and planning. And so this is kind of how I think about building brands, because it's definitely a big task, building a website, creating content, attracting people to you. But I think it's really fun. I think it's an adventure and it's a journey and it's exciting. And so that's what I want you to think about when you think about growing your brand. That's why I chose those images and colors. So hopefully it's working. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So we'll see. So what do most network marketers do though when they go about branding? So maybe you've never thought about branding before. Maybe you don't think you're actually doing any branding, but the truth is you actually are. And all network marketers do branding of some form or not. In fact, we all do, even in our regular daily lives. However we interact with people, like I talked about in the beginning, that shapes your brand. Now, what most network marketers do is they brand their company and the MLM industry as a whole. Now think, what kind of a brand does MLM have? So type in the comments, what kind of a brand does the MLM industry have? Are you still there, Haley?
I am still here.
What kind of a brand do you think MLM has?
Well, for the longest time, I thought it was a little sleazy, salesy, take my money, failure, because that's what I'd seen over and over.
Right.
People failing at it and get me. I mean, I liked the parties, but now I have a better view.
Right. So why do you have a better view?
Well, the different strategies that we've used.
So because you're in MLM, whereas before you were not in MLM. So, right, this just goes back to what I talked about in the beginning, whereas a brand can have a different perception to different people. Hey, Asher. So people that are not in MLM, right? It actually has a negative brand. MLM has a negative brand for people that are not in it, whereas maybe if you're in MLM, you think it's the best thing ever. So you probably already know this, but MLM actually has a negative image. In fact, here's a graphic that shows that it's one of the internet's most hated things. It's right up there with racists and internet trolls, and it's actually more unpopular than white nationalists. But that's probably only because there are so few white nationalists. But still, that's not good company. And you're going to get a lot of people like unfollowing you and unfriending you just because you have an MLM business. And that's sad because MLM, network marketing, it is a great business model, but it just has a bad reputation. And a big part of that is because of all the old school tactics that are taught, which is why we recommend building your own brand, among other things. So how do network marketers brand their companies and the network marketing industry? They do it without even realize they're doing it. So, and what the brand that it conjures, when people hear those, they think pyramid scheme. They think seeing people as walking dollar signs, or they see them as being annoying or manipulative or even fickle, jumping from one company to the next. And it's like, oh, they're doing another one of those things, So there's a lot of just negativity around MLM as a whole. And it's because, people are kind of taught, some tactics that, maybe are a little manipulative, maybe are kind of annoying, and they kind of are taught to bug people. And even though that none of these are true, again, this goes back to the beginning where I said a brand, is just what people think and feel about something, whether it's true or not. And so for a lot of people, they have false views about MLM that are maybe based in some, real experiences they've had with some individuals. So in general, you're going to want to avoid using the MLM brand. And so here's an example of some people. I just looked on Facebook pages for Scentsy people, and you can see there's a bunch of people with Scentsy, but why should I buy from any one person versus another person? Because it all kind of runs together. And I did find it interesting that the people that at least use their names have more followers than those that just put Scentsy. So they're starting. They have proto brands building their personal brands. So that's the MLM brand that you don't want to use. Instead, you want to build your own personal brand. And this is not just for network marketing, but really anyone in general. It's kind of the new resume. So real quick, why you want to brand yourself. 9 reasons you should have your own brand. It helps you stand out, like with the Scentsy example. If there's so many people in your company, how do you set yourself apart from anyone else? Why should someone buy from you instead of someone else? Well, having your own brand sets you apart right away. Having your own brand also helps build that know, like, and trust factor because you're putting out some content first. You're helping your audience solve their problems. So you're already giving something first before asking for something. You also are going to limit how many customers and team members you lose, because a big thing that happens when people mention a company or an opportunity is people then turn to Google and they'll search on it, and they'll find either the company website or someone else in your company and sign up with them. Or there's a lot of negative reviews out there talking about how all MLMs are pyramid schemes and scams, etc. And they might find those reviews and not only not sign up, but get a very negative opinion of you that will hurt your brand with those people. So avoiding the MLM stigma is a good reason to have your brand as well, because if you're doing it right, people might not even know you're in an MLM because it's under the umbrella of your brand. So for example, if you are in a health and wellness company, rather than just leading with, buy my product, this shake is the best, this drink is amazing, and just always talking about your products in your company, maybe you have a health and wellness brand that is specifically dealing with maybe like mental health, or maybe losing weight for a particular group of people, like homeschooling moms or something. And so now you become known as that person. You're not known as the crazy pyramid scheme person. You're known as the person with this health and wellness brand, and you're providing tips to help that particular audience with their particular problems. And then you can recommend your network marketing company's products or the opportunity as just one more solution that your brand offers. And it's much more receptive to people that way. And so as a result, you don't have to go around bugging people anymore. You don't have to bug your friends and family. You don't have to prospect strangers, either online or in person. So you're going to be, avoiding that whole ickiness altogether. And also future-proofs your business, because if something were to happen to your company, or you couldn't do shows in person, like say a worldwide pandemic happened, which obviously is impossible, but if it were to happen and you couldn't do shows anymore, what would you do? Well, with your own personal online brand, that doesn't affect you. You can still promote to people online. And for example, if your network marketing company were to close its doors, like sometimes some do, or a compensation plan changes, or any number of things could happen that are outside of your control. When you have your own brand, you can sell something else. So going back to the health and wellness example, say your company no longer offers those products, but you still have built up this following of people that are interested in what you have to say, you can simply find other products or similar products that kind of offer the same benefits to your audience. And this actually allows you to promote multiple network marketing companies at the same time, or even affiliate offers from like Amazon or even Target or other stores. Almost every place has other affiliate programs, which means you can sell their products and make a commission for recommending them. Or you could even create your own products, such as courses or ebooks and so on. So having your own brand really future-proofs your business and opens you up to a huge, potential for things you could potentially sell. And having your own brand also will help you just generate more leads and sales in general, because a lot of network marketing advice is just go to your warm market, but your warm market is limited. You only have so many friends and family, and then you're going to run out of people to talk to. Sure, you can go to Facebook groups and try to message strangers, but they don't know you at all. They're going to be turned off by that. They're not going to be interested. Whereas if you're branding, you're going to be actually attracting people to you. They're going to be reaching out, and you're going to be growing a following of people that have actually raised their hand and said they're interested in hearing more about what you have to say. And when you brand yourself, you're really, for the first time, actually building your own business for real, because when you're in MLM, it's really more like you are a sales rep for another company. You're not really owning your own business, because again, there's so much you don't control. You don't control the messaging. You don't control what products they offer, what products they take away. You don't control if they even stay in business. You're really just a sales consultant for them. But when you own your own brand and your own business, then that is something you can own and control. So again, it future-proofs your business. You're more in control of what happens. And it allows you to also create passive and automatic income by creating systems that help turn people that see your content, visit your website, into buyers and team members. And this is something I will cover in this challenge as well. So those are 9 reasons you should have your own brand, in case you were still on the fence. So how do you create your own brand? That is the question. Well, here is my branding quick start guide for you, how to rapidly brand yourself. So the 4 steps are: number 1, choose your niche. So this is where you're going to choose what kinds of content are you going to create for your audience. So going back to our health and wellness example, that's a huge umbrella category. So you're going to want to find a smaller audience of people to talk to so that you can stand out and not get lost in all the noise. So you want to figure out who it is you really want to help, what specific demographic of people you want to help. And then you create a brand image that will attract those people to you. So that's where the colors, the logo, the name, a tagline, and so on come in. And then you're going to want to create your own show. This is where you start creating content that can be in the form of a blog post or a video or a podcast. These are kind of the 3 main ways you can create your show. And you're just consistently putting out content that attracts your audience. So again, if you're helping homeschooling moms lose weight, you might put out a blog post on, how to lose weight when you're so busy you don't have time to go to the gym, or something specifically targeted for the problems that your particular audience has. And then finally, you want to create your own website, because this becomes your hub or your home base online. And I'll talk more about why you want your own website a little bit later. So that's the quick start guide for building your own brand. And so now for the rest of this training, I'm going to talk about how to find a profitable niche. All right. So there are some common myths I'd like to address first, which is it's too saturated. So maybe you have an idea, but you see so many other people teaching on the same thing. So you say, I'm not going to do that. Well, it's actually a myth that it's too saturated, because actually having other people in the same niche as you proves that there is a market. and that people are actually going to buy the products that you are talking about in that niche. Whereas if there were no people in that niche, then that's kind of a warning sign that maybe no one's really interested, no one's actually spending money in that area. So you actually do want to find other people in that same category to know that that's the right niche to target. Then from there, the key is just doing something different than everyone else. And merely the fact that you are a unique person is going to help you stand out, because people are attracted to different people. So maybe you think, well, I'm not as charismatic as so-and-so who's in the same market, but there's probably a lot of people out there that maybe aren't as, attracted to that charismatic person. Maybe they'd be attracted to someone who seems more like them, who's, not as outgoing. So don't be afraid that it's too saturated. The other one is I don't have time. And this is a big myth as well, because it doesn't have to take a lot of time to grow your own brand. And I'll talk about this in another live stream, but just realize that a lot of people who don't say they have enough time, a lot of times they are doing a lot of tasks for their business that really aren't going to move the needle very much. So posting endlessly on social media, doing vendor events or things like that can take a ton of time, and maybe those are really worthwhile for you, but you have to look at what are you doing during your business time, and is it getting you the most results. So for some people it might be the case. For others, if it's not, then eliminate those tasks that aren't valuable. All right, so myth number 3 is I don't know what to say. And I'm going to cover this a little bit later so that you will never run out of content ideas. All right. So step 1, what do you know or have experience in? This is a key to knowing what brand idea you should choose. So what do you already know or have experience in? So probably off the top of your head, you already know this, or you can ask others and maybe they would say, hey, you're good at this, or you know a lot about that. And then just make a list of everything that you can think of, whether or not you really want to build a brand around it or not. So here are some examples that I wrote down. So I know about football, I know about creative writing, homeschooling, online business, electronic music production, live church sound production. So these are things that I've done before or have studied and know about. And then step 2 is which topics are you then interested in? So don't pick something that you'll hate because you'll burn out, because it does take consistency to grow your brand. So it's not an overnight thing. So if you're doing something you hate and you're having to create a lot of content around that, you're not going to be passionate about it. You're not going to be that interested in it, and that's going to come out. And that means you're going to create poor content that's not going to stand out, and you're not really going to get anywhere, and you're going to burn out. So you're going to want to pick something that you're actually interested in and passionate about. And so another question to ask yourself about what that might be is, what do you spend a lot of time learning about or talking about? Or what can you not stop talking about? That might be a clue as to what you should build your brand around. So back to my examples, and I really like football, but I couldn't really see myself talking a lot about football, whether it be like a podcast or something. And I really didn't like live church sound production at all. So I definitely don't want to talk about that. So I crossed those 2 off the list. So step 3, consider how your network marketing company might be able to relate. So you don't have to pick a niche that directly relates to your product, like the health and wellness example I gave, but having something closely related can help. So think about that. So whatever network marketing company you're in, can you pick a related niche that leads to an easy transition to the product? Now, maybe you're in, say, maybe you're in a company that isn't related to whatever niche you want to go into. For example, maybe you want to start a brand around personal finance, but you're in some company that has nothing to do with finance. Well, you could still then promote the business opportunity as the main thing there, because having the business helps you generate more finances, obviously. So you kind of can be a little creative there as well. So it doesn't have to relate exactly. In fact, I'll probably do that later. I'll see what all niche ideas people have come up with, and we can talk about how you can relate your network marketing product or opportunity to that niche a little later on if you want to. But this is just something to consider. Now, these are examples of some popular niches that are already out there if you're stumped with coming up with ideas. So a big one is personal development, entrepreneurship and online business. That's a huge one. Productivity, lifestyle. That's a really big open-ended really niche right there. Technology, DIY, travel, parenting, health and wellness. So that's food, fitness, and more. Really, a lot can fit in there. Fashion, crafts, interior design, home improvement, music, and I think that's all I had here. So those are some really popular niches. Now, our network marketing product is a hair clip and hair products. So where could that fit in all this? So let's just look at, say, entrepreneurship and online business. Now, on its face, you wouldn't think that a hair clip for women and hair products would relate to that, but you can relate that because a lot of entrepreneurs are busy. They want to look nice, but they don't have time. So you could market it that way to entrepreneurs. So maybe your bigger brand is helping with maybe productivity for entrepreneurs. That's how you niche down even more. And your product relates because it can help them get ready in the morning quickly and look nice and feel ready to tackle the day quickly. So that's how you can relate two seemingly unrelated things. And let's see, look at what else. Travel, right? That seems like it could be unrelated, but if you're traveling a lot, maybe you don't want to mess with your hair, so you can use your hair product quickly there. Parenting as well. Maybe parents don't have a lot of time, or they always feel kind of messy and not put together, but having a hair clip and these different hair products can help parents feel put together really quickly. And so you could really find a way to fit your network marketing product into just about any niche that you want to do. And so if you're thinking of one particular niche, but you're not sure how you would relate your network marketing product with it, just post in the comments below, and I'll see if I can address that in the Q&A section. All right. All right, step 4 is to examine the market then. So you have looked at what is it you're good at or about, and you found something that overlaps and is also something that you're interested in, but you actually need to be able to make money with this business idea. So you want to examine the market, and you want to look and see, is there commerce going on in that niche? Meaning, are there other people, like we talked about the saturation, are there other people in that niche that are making money? Are there other successful brands? If there are, that's a good sign that there is a market. And so a quick way to do this is just Google on whatever your niche is or your topic and see, are there other online brands? So I'm pretty sure there would be other examples. I know for sure there is online brands for all these categories, but for the ones I was knowledgeable in and also interested in, creative writing, homeschooling, online business, electronic music production, there were all people making money in these categories. So those are all yeses. So that still hasn't completely narrowed it down yet for me. All right, so step 5 is then narrow your niche. So think about how can you stand out again. So you found your niche, but you actually still need to stand out from everyone else there as well. So what can you do differently or better? What are other people not doing that you can do? So what specific audience can you serve more strategically? So there might be for the weight loss, right? That's such a huge umbrella, but maybe there's a specific demographic of people that aren't being served quite as well, and you can serve them. And that might be not the weight loss. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that niche because that would be a harder one to tap into. Same thing with online business, which is the niche that we're in. It's harder to build there because it is so big, but you still can stand out if you narrow down your niche, because you don't need tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of customers and people buying from you. You just need a small group of, dedicated, loyal customers buying from you to make a good income. So think about what specific audience can you serve better in that niche, or also think about what can you be known for. What can you do a little differently? Maybe people are only creating blog posts in that niche, and you are the first one to create videos or a podcast, or vice versa. So that takes a little bit of creativity here. And so that's how you can find your niche. And so I decided to go with electronic music production for my niche because that's something that I know about and I'm really interested in. And I also think that I can serve people in a unique way. So for my audience, I decided to help indie music artists and help them make better music and grow a fan base. I haven't found anyone that covers kind of both of these. I've seen people teaching how to make better music production, and I've seen people teaching on how to grow a fan base, but there's no bridge. So I'm thinking maybe I can be the bridge, because there's a lot of people out there that maybe they don't know how to produce their own music, but they also don't have the budget to go to an expensive studio to record an album. And so the people that teach them how to grow their fan base is helpful, but they don't have any recorded music or highly produced music. And they're kind of stuck because they don't have the budget. So here they can find me that does kind of both and teaches them how to make better music themselves and also market it. And I have unique experience in both those fields because I've done a lot of music production, I've been to college for music, and I've also been in marketing for a long period of time, online marketing. So that's where I think I can kind of stand out and be a little bit different. And then I also threw in a little brand image thing to help myself stand out a little bit different and incorporating Greek mythology, as I'm calling myself Orpheus Audio Academy, and Orpheus is a character from Greek mythology. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this is clear. Hopefully this is all making sense. So we have now arrived at your challenge for today. So challenge for today is to pick your niche. So make those lists. Make the list of things you know about, and then make a list of the things that you are passionate about and see where those overlap. And then go and do your research. Type into Google and see if you can find other people, other brands, online brands making money in that niche. Are they having products for sale? Do they have followers? So look at that, do your research, and then pick your niche. And then after this video is over, I'm going to make a post in the group asking you to share what niche you are going into in that post. And everyone who shares what niche that they are choosing, they'll be entered in the giveaway. And or if you complete all 5 days, you'll be entered into the giveaway, where you can win a free year membership to my Adventure Brand coaching community, which will give you weekly training and coaching for how to grow your website and brand. So think this whole challenge today, but I'll go even more in depth and give you more personal help and coaching. That's what my Adventure Brand coaching community will be. And I'll give you a free year access to that if you win the giveaway, and that's a $300 value. So if that sounds good to you, then be sure to participate and complete each challenge. All right, with that being said, I think we are on the Q&A section. So let me know any questions that you have that I can answer.
So we do have one that Kathy gave earlier. Her question is about Bluehost. She says, I already have a domain name through Lonos. I think that's the right thing. Can I use that domain name to sign up with Bluehost for the website?
See, I'm trying to find that comment. Do you
There's
see
a
that?
pro top.
Is at the top?
Yeah. I would highlight
Bluehost. I already have a domain name through Lonos. Can I use that domain name to sign up with Bluehost for the website? Yes. Yeah, you don't have to get a domain name through Bluehost. There's a lot of different services out there that you can use to get a domain name. And then Bluehost is just the hosting. It's the actual computer servers where your website code will be stored. Your domain is just the address, so computers can find it. So yeah, you can do that Bluehost makes that pretty simple to just put in your domain name, and then they set your website up with that domain name. And I'll be covering more of the building your website portion in a let's see, when is that? Day 2. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be covering more about building your website. So yeah, does that answer your question?
I did want to ask, are you going to have more training on or going deeper into niches and how to pick your niche? How to know what your niche should be?
I mean, I think that was a pretty, that was the only training I had on picking your niche, but are there others like specific questions I can answer about? If you have any like questions about if you think, hey, is this a good niche? Then just post in the comments and I'll see if I can answer that. I just saw this question from Kathy. I'm confused about narrowing my market for my avatar, but broadening my reach for my website. I am starting a life coaching business, but I feel like I should keep the website narrow for that. Yeah, I think that's kind of one and the same. So you want your website topic and your niche to be, fairly narrow, because that will help you stand out better, and you'll be able to better appeal to your customer avatar. So I actually go into customer avatar more in tomorrow's lesson, so if that's confusing anyone. But yeah, you do want to be as specific as you can be while still appealing to a real audience. You don't want to just like make up an audience that doesn't actually exist, like unicorn lovers with only 3 arms or something that doesn't exist. So I hope that makes sense.
Looks like Keith asked if there are any additional resources you can recommend for picking a niche.
I just remembered I do have my I have actually a free guide. I was meant to recommend this earlier. So you can go to paulram.com/online brand idea, and that will kind of walk you through the training I went through today. So that's kind of like a workbook. So that will give you kind of the step-by-step worksheet where you can like fill in, what you're interested in, what you have knowledge in, and then that can help you find your niche there. All right, comments. Let's see.
Yes, it looks like Mila has a comment or a question.
Right. How do you get around replicated website if building your brand? So I think she's asking, so you're talking about your network marketing company replicated website? So kind of the way we do that for ours is for directing people there. So we'll create content, right? We have a website. Let's see if I can actually show that. Actually. All right, I'm going to share my screen. See if it loads with the streaming. Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Our internet isn't always the kindest to us.
All right, I'm going to screen share. Application window. All right, so here is our brand for our network marketing product. So this is very linear because it's not perfectly linear. It's kind of a broader mission, a broader purpose than just, like I said, the hair clips that we sell. It's more about having a beautiful life in general. But a lot of what we talk about is hair related. And so let's see, 12 best hair stick styles. So we're giving hairstyling tutorials, and then a lot of the hair sticks they can then buy by going to our replicated website. So that's how we kind of direct people to create content that can then direct people to the replicated website. And then we have one on, I think on like how to have healthy hair, those different tips. Hair accessories. So yeah, so you can see how we're kind of creating different content around that easily leads into then promoting our products. And we also have the Start Here page, which I actually talk about this in my free course, Brand Creation Blueprint. I call this the Start Here /brochure page in that course. That's a free course you can get by going to paularam.com/BCB. I'll create a banner for that. So that's how you can get that free course. And I'll show you how to create a page like this and actually how to set up a website too. And so this is kind of almost like a kind of sales page, a kind of an educational page for our product, because a lot of replicated network marketing websites, they don't really do a good job of explaining what the product is or what the benefits are, and especially not for your particular audience, because everyone might have a different avatar that they're promoting their products to. So we create a page like this that specifically appeals to our avatar, and then people can click this button, and this goes to our replicated website. It says view Flexi Styles here. So rather than just saying, just sending people straight to our website, they don't know anything about our company, and then they go to a website that's not, most of them aren't designed very well. It's not clear how to buy or even what the product is. We're putting in an extra step and giving some extra education, and that's what our website helps do. This is a little kind of advanced that I was going to be talking about later on in the training, but hopefully that is helpful for people.
So would you basically say you would need, you kind of view your replicated website as kind of like a shopping cart almost?
Right. Like it's like your store page, but 99% of people aren't going to be ready to buy the first time they hear about your product. They're going to need to learn about it more, right? If you just heard about a brand new product for the first time, you don't know anything about it, you're probably not going to buy it, right? I'm not talking about like a generic, something that we're already familiar with. We're all familiar with, like, say, Post-it notes or something. You're not really going to care about what brand Post-it notes you get or pen or something. But if it's like a network marketing product, which are all very unique, people need education first. They're not going to be ready to buy it yet. So you don't want to just send people straight to your replicated website first, because they'll probably leave and then you'll never hear from them again. But if you're creating your own brand, you can first get them into your community, you can get them on your email list, and then you can continue to build that relationship with them, and then you can send them to your replicated website to buy through emails or other content, and you can promote that to them over and over again, and you can actually do that because they're now in your community. So hopefully that makes sense.
So it looks like Kathy has a clarifying question.
Yeah. No, Kathy, I would say both should be narrow. So your brand should be narrow as well. If you're serving because your avatar is just one person that's real or imagined, right? So obviously one person is narrow, but your brand, right? You also want your brand to be in a niche or a topic, whatever you want to call it, a category that's narrow. So for example, our website is just, teaching hairstyles. It's not, for the most part, we're not trying, and it's just for older women, basically, for the most part, gray hair. So we're not trying to appeal to all women. We're not trying to deal with all elements of fashion or style. It's just hair. So it's a narrow brand, if that makes sense.
And it can make you, like, narrowing your brand and all of that can make you feel like, oh no, I'm going to run out of content. I'm not going to find people. There's not going to be enough people. But what happens is when you focus on just one area, then you tend to speak to more people. More people are able to relate to that.
Right. You can deal with very specific problems that no one else is addressing.
All right, so Rhonda asks, do I need to have my specific niche and focus already decided before I create my website or domain.
Do I need to have? Okay. I would say so, because you want to craft your domain and your website in such a way that it appeals to your niche. So I think that's why I had building your website as the last thing in my slides in the brand creation quick start. Is you want to have those other things in place first. You want to know who you're serving, what their problems are, so then you can craft your brand image in such a way to attract them. So, for example, if you're going to be serving an audience that's mostly men, you wouldn't want to get a website domain name that's something that appeals to women. You might want to choose maybe pink for your brand colors. So that's why having your niche down first, who it is you're serving, so down first, so then you can pick a domain name that they can clearly identify. So that's why I'm going to be going more into this in the next lesson about, in tomorrow's lesson, about how to figure out your customer avatar and all that, and narrowing down those sorts of things. But this is kind of, for today's task, it's just kind of choosing your big niche, your big brand idea that you want to choose. So hopefully that makes sense. Myra says, excited to finally get my brand website going. Great.
Woohoo!
It's good to hear. All right, so Kathy says, yes, that was helpful. I was confused because we are thinking about what we are interested in. So I was thinking we were adding that to our website. I think I am past the step, which is why I was getting confused. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, so that the list of all the things you're interested in, that's just to help you find a topic. You don't want to talk about all the things you're interested on your brand, not at all. That would definitely not work. That would definitely not attract an audience, because they would get confused. There'd be stuff on there they're not interested in. So I'm talking about finding what you're good at, then find what you're interested in and see where they overlap. So for example, I was interested in, I have experience in, and I know about music production, and I'm also interested in it. So that's an indication that might be a good category to choose. And then the final one is there a market? And then the kind of two other steps I had in there was just consider is if you can fit your network marketing product into it in an easy way, and if not, just be aware of that. And then the final step was just how can you then stand out in that niche. So it's kind of the three main steps are, what are you good at or have knowledge in? What are you interested in? And is there a market for it? And so you want to pick one topic only, one main topic, one main niche that kind of fits all three of those. And then, so like for example, all the niches that I showed in the one slide. So stand out, let's see, where was the niche? So like the personal development, online business, health and wellness, those are kind of all the examples of actual niches. But you wouldn't want to have one website or brand that covers a whole bunch of different things. All right, so Paula is a beautiful life. Does she use that same name for other platforms like Facebook or Instagram? Would we use the same name? Yes, definitely. So that's part of building that brand, is you want to use the same name across every platform you're on so people can easily recognize you and start to associate you with that name. Whereas if you're using a whole bunch of other names, then it's going to be incoherent and you're not going to really succeed at building a strong brand. Oh, okay, good, Kathy. I'm glad that makes sense. Good. All right, any other questions? It's like Amanda Rose decided to do the lifestyle/parenting niche. That's a good one. Awesome. All right.
The last comment there is Rhonda's.
All right. Ron. Okay, so this is Rhonda. All right. I read the intro to the course when you announced it, but now I can't find the course to look into the website development more. Yeah, so I think you're talking about my free course, the Brand Creation Blueprint. So you can get that by going to paularam.com/BCB. And this will walk you through everything I kind of taught in this training. So, and a lot more actually on how to build your website. So kind of how to come up with a niche or a brand topic, and then how to actually create your website. So how to set up your Bluehost account and actually build your website. And I'll be talking about that more through the rest of this training, including some more advanced stuff that course doesn't go into. But the Brand Creation Blueprint course is definitely a great course that everyone should get if you're interested in growing a brand, because that will kind of walk you through the beginning stages of getting your brand set up. And then this challenge I'm doing is kind of to help you kind of give you some extra accountability and some extra tips, and actually be able to give you personal feedback. So that's kind of what, so they're kind of like complementary. You can think of them in that way.
Yes, I just need to give her, Kathy, I just need to give her a flexi clip now. Just dismantled the side of my hair. Because she thought it needed to look better.
All right. Well, are there any other questions? If not, then just remember to do the challenge for today, which is to pick your brand idea and then post what that is in the topic that I'm about to post in the Online Marketing Lab. I'm going to post a topic asking you to share what your brand idea is, and I'll put hashtag daily challenge on that so you can easily find those. All right.
Yeah,
All
and about
right,
the giveaway, Reagan may not brag about all the awesome content he's going to have for that membership site, but he's planning to like overwhelm people who join his membership site.
You definitely want to do those so you can get entered in that giveaway.
It's going to be a good membership site.
Yeah, Kathy's asking if I can post the homework in the group. Yes, I'll do that as part of that topic. I'll say, pick your niche and post it below day one challenge, hashtag daily challenge. And so you can find that in the Online Marketing Lab as soon as this stream is over. All right, guess those are all the questions. So to give you a little sneak peek about tomorrow, we're going to be covering, that's day 3, how to understand your customer avatar and how you can help them. So we're going to be going over some really cool things that I don't think we've ever shared before, like the avatar matrix, which makes creating content super easy, how to craft your value proposition, all kinds of cool stuff that's going to help you get really clear on how you can help your audience and create your brand. So definitely come back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for the next training. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.